Hello. There is a lot of confusion out there about what is the Empire State Trail, and is it the same thing as the Erie Canalway Trail? Well, sort of, but not really. And if you ask 100 people, you will likely get 101 different explanations. So let's dive into this. And I apologize, as this will get a bit wonky and may not be for everyone. And also, I will be saying the word trail quite a lot. The Empire State Trail isn't one trail in the traditional sense. It is a connected system of paths, canal towpaths, former rail lines, and local trail segments that together create a continuous route across New York State for bicyclists and walkers. Right now, the systems of trails under the Empire State banner includes the Erie Canalway Trail, the Champlain Valley Trail, and the Hudson Valley Greenway Trail. To make it more confusing, these three trail systems have individual components. So let's use the Erie Canalway Trail as an example. If you were to ride it from Buffalo to Albany, you would see signage for the Buffalo River Shoreline Trail, the Little Falls Miracle Mile, and the Mohawk Hudson Bikeway, and maybe more. These are all standalone trails that, when connected together by the state-built segments, become the Erie Canalway Trail. Let's take a look at this map that shows ownership of the trail. There are 100 different owners of the Erie Canalway and the Champlain Valley Trails. This ownership could be just a few feet or many miles. All these bits and pieces of trail become the Erie Canalway Trail. However, it is not under control of the state. The state has branded it, they advertise it, they make grants available for upkeep, but they don't own it. I have pulled up this map from the GPI trail data that shows ownership of the trail. This is a state map. And if you take a look here, the Canal Corp owns the purple sections here. So the section from Lockport out past maybe to Clyde or Palmyra, somewhere in that area. They own a little bit here by Utica. They own a little bit up here in the Champlain Valley Trail. That's all the Canal Corp owns. It makes sense, because they own the old sections that used to be the towpath canal and now are used as the barge canal. Erie Canal, or Erie County over here, you can see owns a little bit in Buffalo. New York State DOT owns the sections in green, and you can see down on the map the color codes here. I didn't pull up all the different trail ownerships. It would have been far too much to display here, but I think you can get the idea who owns what. It is not one big trail owned by one entity. Maybe a better example is to look at New York State Route 31. In Buffalo, it is called College Avenue. In Lockport, it is both West and East Avenue, and then it becomes the Rochester Road. In Rochester, parts of it are Monroe Avenue, while in Port Byron, it is both Utica Street and Rochester Street. These were all roads that were in use prior to becoming Route 31, but today, they are known by the local name and the state-designated Route 31. So what the Empire State Trail designation does is to join all these trails under one umbrella. Let's go back to our highway example. If you have ever traveled from Buffalo to New York City on the Thruway, you might have seen that the highway changes from Route 90 to Route 87 at Albany. Different highways, but all part of the larger Thruway system. The Empire State Trail does the same thing, joining various trails together under one brand. Okay, you say, so what? If you get on the Empire State Trail at Canalside in Buffalo, and you follow the Empire State Trail markers across the state, you will end up in Manhattan at some point. But the state continues to expand what is the Empire State Trail. Soon it could include the Southern Tier Trail between Buffalo and Hinsdale, which will go back up to the Hudson Valley Greenway. This recent article of March 23rd, 2021, highlights the 80-mile Southern Tier Trail. And you can see where it goes from Buffalo down to Hinsdale and back up to Rochester, creating a 270-mile loop. And I recently saw an alert about the Empire State Trail being extended into Saratoga County from Schenectady. So in the end, the Erie Canalway Trail is not the Empire State Trail, nor is the Empire State Trail the Erie Canal Trail. And even within the ranks of the New York State DOT, there continues to be some confusion as to what is the Empire State Trail, or what is the Erie Canalway Trail. Let's use a section of Erie Canalway Trail that runs between Port Byron and Clyde along Route 31. Here, this on-road section was a later, quicker, and cheaper addition to the Erie Canalway Trail. When they went to market, they just put up the Empire State Trail signs and not the Erie Canalway Trail signs. It is what they had on hand, and there was a push to get the trail completed. Now, the folks putting up the signs were likely not a cyclist with a touring cyclist point of view, but were instead looking at a set of regulations that determined sign placement. The purpose of any trail marker or highway sign is twofold. The first purpose is to help guide you. When you get to an intersection, you want to see a directional arrow. Go this way. Once you get past the intersection, you want to see a sign or marker that reassures you that you are on the correct route. So this is why you will see a trail blaze every mile or so. So it is understandable when someone is following the older Erie Canalway Trail signs and then only see Empire State Trail signs, they might start wondering, did I go the correct way? If you don't understand how or why the trails were marked, it can be confusing. And now that the new state blazes are coming out, I'm sure there will be even more confusion. To add to this mess, you might see the oval green and white bike route signs, especially in those sections where the Empire State Trail system has a concurrency or shares the route with the older New York State DOT bike route network. This bike route system has nothing to do with the Empire State Trail. It is an older network of on-the-road bike routes that predates the off-road trail system. When it comes to the Empire State Trail, it is often the easy and cheap fallback position to simply post a nearby road as a bike route when there is no other alternative. We see this in many places, especially in the Hudson Valley Greenway and Champlain Valley Trail. So in closing, it is a branding issue. But when there are so many brands out there, all doing basically the same thing, it can be a mess. I hope this explanation helps to clear up what is the Erie Canal Trail, what is the Empire State Trail, and the other trails. Let me know if you think I got something wrong or could make it even clearer. Thanks for listening.